there are two huge events that shaped the New Testament gospel history. The first is a person, and the second is an empire. The person was Alexander, and the empire is the Roman Empire. And basically, this is what Alexander did. And just to give you, this is where Alexander was from. Let's see if I can get something lighter here. This is Macedonia. His dad happened to be the king, Philip of Macedon. And so Alexander was from Macedonia. You ever heard of the Macedonian call and vision and all that? That's part of Greece. Alexander built on what his father did, and in rapid succession, and this is modern day Greece, he just shot into Turkey, came down, conquered the Holy Land, got Egypt, went on, and went into the heart of Parthia, and went all the way to India. And just more rapid than anyone has ever conquered before, in his short little, about 10 years, from when he was 23 to 33, he did all this stuff. Conquered the world. And he actually dies drunk. He was in a drinking party. There's Ecbatana. He is by the Tigris and Euphrates in Babylon, having a drinking party with his generals, and they had this great big 1 or 2 gallon thing, and they were all who can outdo each other, and he drank the thing and went into a fever and got so violently sick that history tells us that he crawled on his stomach trying to drown himself in the river, because gods don't die, and he was a god. And his wife dragged him back and put him in bed. Good wife, and he died in bed. But when he died, his generals took over, and basically what's amazing about, and I said that the whole New Testament is influenced by what Alexander did. It's because when he swept through here, that's the Holy Land, he didn't destroy Jerusalem. He heard that there was a prophecy about him, and the high priest came out and shared and read to him from Daniel's prophecy, which talks about Alexander coming. And so Alexander spared the Holy Land, Jerusalem, and when he died, basically one of his generals took this area, one of his generals took this area, one of his generals took this area, and the other one took that area. And the 4 divisions of his empire became the backdrop for the intertestamental period between Malachi and Matthew. But what they did in all these pink areas, they made there be one language, and it was Koine Greek. And Koine became kind of like English has become today. It was the universal language, and it went far beyond Alexander's empire. It began to be the language of commerce, of travel, and of communication. The second thing they did is they did what is called Hellenization. They Hellenized the world. And one of the things that Hellenization is they enculturated the world. They started systematic training of language and training schools, and they started the return, and I think I can illustrate this. They did the Greek language, which was very important. If Galatians 4, verses 4 and 5 say that God sent Christ in the fullness of time. In the fullness of time, God sent forth his Son, made of a woman, made under the law, to redeem those that were under the law. What is the fullness of time? One element is, it's the first time since the Tower of Babel where the majority of the people alive spoke the same language. What a time to get the gospel out when it can go and be understood. But a second thing that they did is this architecture that began to develop cities unparalleled. And I'll just show you what I mean by this, because Alexander the Great Hellenized the ancient world, and he spread Greek culture from Greece to India. And you know what's right between Greece and India? The Holy Land. And so it's interesting how much this impacted. Now remember where we are. We're about right there, 300 BC. So here's the cross and the church and Christ. And right in here is where Alexander would have lived. And so it's 300 years before Christ.